So Jussie Smollett is currently on trial. And of course, they're basically charging him for basically allegedly staging his attack. Remember back in 2019, in January 2019, basically Jussie Smollett was basically saying that he was a victim of a hate crime, and two Trump supporters, like MAGA had Trump supporters, attacked him and was calling him homophobic slurs, and he was basically saying that he was being attacked for his sexuality and all of these different things. And basically it came out that allegedly he falsified all this information, and the guys who were arrested and they had charged, but basically came out and was like, wait, we're friends with Jussie. This is all set up, gone wrong. And basically Jussie set this all up because he wanted to build relevancy back on his brand and his career. But we didn't do it in a way where it wasn't planned. This whole thing was staged. So of course during the attack, Jussie claimed that, of course he was hit, a noose was put around his neck. People threw bleach on him, was calling him the F word and homophobic slurs, and saying they had MAGA hats and all this other stuff. He was attacked outside the Chicago subway. And, people at first, they believed it because we were living in a time where everyone is just so gung-ho crazy about this whole Trump era and him being the president, him trying to be president, and there's a lot of racial tension going on, Black Lives Matter and everything else. It was just a dark time. The pandemic has started. The pandemic ain't started like in 2019, but it was the beginning of like Black Lives Matter and basically the whole MAGA situation. This is right before the pandemic happened in 2020, and I guess he was trying to capitalize off of that allegedly. I guess because here we are. Now he's in court because he allegedly staged this whole thing. And then he admitted during a testimony that he was involved in a sexual relationship with one of the brothers that attacked him. I guess they had met at a bathe house in Chicago, and and Jussie said that he and his brother was basically getting high, taking cocaine. One of the Sandero brothers, he was getting high, taking cocaine with him. They were having sexual encounters with each other at the bathe house. They were basically, it sounds like friends with benefits to me. And now they want to stump you out and beat you down. Like, I just don't feel like he's going to win this situation. I don't feel like he's about to win this case. There's more things coming out as well about this case that had me like, things that make you go, like for real, because like now we talking about Don Lemon. He also admitted that Don Lemon had tipped him off that the Chicago police didn't believe his story, which is something that he should not be doing because he's a news anchor. Of course, when you're a news anchor, you're privy to exclusive information because you have to make reports about it and things of that nature. And there's certain things that you can report on, some things they don't want you to report on, even if you find it out. So he allegedly found that out, and he texted Jussie Smollett. He even admitted that he can't really talk much about it. He said that he's friends with Jussie Smollett, and he felt like he was disappointed in him for allegedly lying about the attack. But now it's like, dude, Don Lemon lose his job because the other news anchor, was it Chris Cuomo? What is it? Because I can't mix it with Andrew Cuomo, Governor Cuomo, the Cuomo brothers, whatever. The guy that was on CNN, he just got fired because he was tipping, getting information and stuff like that about people who was claiming that his brother was allegedly sexually assaulting him. So he was trying to collect information, but using his job at CNN to get information and go through emails and stuff like that. So he just got fired. Now, if he got fired, technically what Don Lemon is similar to the same thing. He basically went and tampered into an investigation by tipping off, the alleged culprit or suspect or whatever Jussie Smollett is right now, and telling him, like, look, the Chicago PD is on your A. I know because I went through personal files, stuff like that. They give me information because I'm a news anchor. I'm just trying to tell you that they know that you lying. And then that made Jussie Smollett not hand over his phone and other things. Another thing that they said also in the trial is that Jussie Smollett had two different testimonies and statements when it came to how he was set up when the cops was near him. He basically was saying, first he said that he had the noose around his neck the entire time when the cops arrived. But then he also made a statement saying that he had the noose around his neck, then he took the noose off, and then he put the noose around his neck again once the cops arrived. So it was like, it's discrepancy in regards to what he said. And it's not that long ago for him to forget exactly what happened. If you allegedly were attacked like that, you're going to remember like everything. You're going to remember the details because it's so traumatic that you can't even function. Like, you just like, damn, I can't believe this happened to me. Like, how can I do this and this? And you're not being able to decipher whether you left the noose on or took the noose off and put it back on. It's just a bit confusing, you know? And it's not really adding up. Then on top of that, it's photos that just got leaked with him and the Alcedero brothers just chilling at bars and stuff, taking pictures. And this is literally like a few days before this alleged attack happened. So I'm just trying to understand, like, how do you go from having sex with one of the brothers and having drug-induced sex parties and stuff like that with these dudes down to The Wire, and literally the next day all of a sudden they got MAGA hats and they're attacking you. You're not even going to notice that it's them, right? You were sexually intimate with one of them. You're hanging out with them closely. Just evaluating the whole situation. Most people, like, listen, I'm going to tell you how I know that I feel like personally, allegedly, he's BSing and this was just a publicity stunt, because we live in an era where we have to wear face masks. This is before we had no choice but to wear, this is before we didn't have to wear face masks in 2019. This happened in January. Now, in this era of us having to wear face masks and stuff like that, for the most part, I relatively have been able to identify people that I've known with their face masks on that I haven't seen in a while that can walk past me and I'm like, yo, hey girl, what's up? And they can see it's me too, right? Because there's other things in which you identify a person in their physicalities, whether it be their body shape, their eyes, their facial hair, their, you know what I mean? That their hair color, their height, their weight, their form as a human being, their being, for you to be able to say, okay, even with you covering your mouth, I can tell it's you because I know how you actually look. I know your presence. I know how you feel. So for Jussie Smollett to say, oh, I don't know who did it, like, he was better off saying, oh, I know who did it. My old friends, they robbed me, they beat me up, they called me these homophobic slurs. If he would have outright went that way, but that would have been throwing him under the bus, right? So he didn't want to throw them under the bus. So why wouldn't he want to throw them under the bus if they attacked him, whether they hung out or not? If somebody attacked you and you want to be served with justice and you want to be protected from these people, whether you was having affairs with them or not, you're going to say, yo, I want protection. People get protections on their ex-spouses all the time. So I'm just trying to understand, it's just not looking good. It's just not looking good. And then another part of the trial too that got me was the fact that the prosecutor, when he was doing cross-examining Jussie Smollett, he was basically using the N-word, and Jussie was like, you need to stop. He was saying Nigga in full formation, like just saying it outright throughout the entire cross-examination while he was reading these text messages between him and the brothers that allegedly attacked him. And Jussie was like, okay, I just feel like you getting too happy with using the N-word or whatever, and basically told him, to chill on that or whatever. And that's when he reportedly gave Jussie Smollett the text messages so he can read it out loud instead, because he felt like it was sus. But check this out. This dude, Dan Webb, the prosecutor, not only did he end it, this is just on like Tuesday. On Wednesday, this dude is gonna have the nerve to do the final statements to the jury and basically say that Jussie Smollett monkeyed around with the rope. Now, people already know the reference when it comes to black people being called monkeys, being compared to apes and stuff like that, the racial prejudice that's associated with that, and the disgustingness that goes with that. And this guy literally used his closing statement and said that Jussie was monkeying around, basically trying to, persuade the jurors in his direction. But I feel like the jurors probably, they were saying that allegedly the jurors were shaking their heads in disgust, it just looked weird. His family, Jussie Smollett's family, was shaking their heads in disgust. Like, you go from using the N-word consistently and being happy about it to allegedly now you're sitting there saying that he monkeyed around. Now they're in deliberations right now. We don't know if he's going to be found guilty or not. But the worst part is if he is found guilty, he's facing a lot of time, okay? He is facing several years in prison for this whole situation. And it's like, was it really worth it? Was it really worth it? If you really staged this, Jussie, was it worth it? Like, it's not worth it. It really wasn't worth it at all. Like, I don't understand. Like, I know Empire was ending around the time that all of this happened. You feel me? And then maybe he felt like he had no other choice but to say the stuff that he said and do the stuff that he did to basically push his career. But he's such a talented. He comes from a very talented family. He's a Smollett. Like, I mean, I watched his sister journey on Smollett on TV growing up on several movies, Eased by You, just a talented group of people. So I don't understand why he would feel like he wasn't good enough for him to find more jobs in his career. And at the time, he still had Lee Daniels, who was still like one of the biggest producers out there at that time, backing him in his career. So, or directors and writers, whatever, at the time, backing his career. So I just don't feel like, I just don't understand why he felt like this. And currently, if you guys don't know what the actual full charges is, he's basically facing 6 disorderly conduct charges. That's what the charges is, for falsifying police reports. And those are the allegations that's up against him right now. So they're basically trying to charge him for, disorderly conduct charges and, of course, falsifying police reports in regards to an incident. So, I mean, if he's found guilty, they're saying he could face years in prison. Now, do Jussie Smollett really deserve, like, years in prison for this? Who really got hurt in the process of this? I mean, I know that they ran through Chicago's taxpayer money and stuff like that. But honestly, how Chicago is over there for the most part, people it's just crazy over there. You feel me? I think they need to let him go because I'm pretty sure there's people running around there, and I know it's people running around there that done did way worse than what he done did. He ain't hurt nobody but himself, his career. That's about it. What else did he hurt? He didn't hurt nobody else. He just hurt his career. I don't feel like he should be in jail. You know what I mean? I just feel like maybe he should be fined. If anything, a year probation, but him just being completely locked up. No, I just don't. I don't feel like he should be locked up in jail for that. I just feel like that's stupid. And if anything, if they're going to put him in jail, give him a week. 30 days, a day, but nothing substantial. Like, I mean, geez, give me a break. But they're in deliberations. They're saying that by tomorrow, which is going to be Thursday, on the 9th, we should know whether Jussie Smollett is guilty or not. Dun, dun, dun. Like, but I want to know y'all thoughts if you guys are watching this, wherever you're watching this. Share your thoughts below in regards to this whole situation with Jussie Smollett and this entire trial. It's just definitely crazy, y'all. It definitely gets crazy with this whole trial. From that allegedly racist prosecutor. I'm going to say allegedly because it just comes off racist for him to just continuously use the N-word like that over and over again and be happy about it. Even down to him basically saying that Jussie Smollett was monkeying around with the noose. Like, it just racist undertones, knowing that this is a case of alleged racial discrimination. I don't know if that's how he's trying to push the narrative, but it's just like, okay. Hey, to listen to the rest of this podcast, be sure to check it out right now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, and much, much more, y'all. It's the DJ Jerica Podcast where we talk about celebrity news commentary. Yo, check it out right now, okay? All of those apps are free, 99. Download it and hear the full podcast. I'm making a movement. I appreciate everybody for your support, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Much love. Peace.